Are you a business owner that is seeking to get SBA financing and you don't seem to quite understand how the whole process goes? Well, in today's episode of the Never Lose a Deal podcast, I'm going to do a deep dive on SBA financing so you can avoid some of the pitfalls if that is something that you are looking for. Welcome. My name is Lorillia, and as I mentioned to you, we are on the Never Lose a Deal podcast. You may be watching on YouTube or you may be listening on one of the podcasting platforms. But if you're new to the show, let me tell you, my goal of this show is to help real estate investors be able to leverage creative financing to expand and grow their portfolio using different forms of capital. So, real estate investors come to me when they are not trying to be the expert in getting financing. That is right. And that is what I'm going to talk to you about today, which is SBA financing, because it is a lot of misinformation in the marketplace. And I thought that I would give some insight as well as give some direction if this is financing that you are looking to get. So, as always, I like to put a disclaimer out there. This information that I'm going to share with you is not for information purposes only. What do you mean by that, Lorillia? What I'm not doing is just giving you information. What I'm going to share with you is real life scenarios as well as processes that I have gone through with my clients. Because right now, in the internet space, as you are listening to my voice or watching this video, there are a lot of people that just spew information, but literally most people can't implement it. Why? Because it's just information. And information is not going to help you get to the next step. Will it give you awareness? Yes. But will it help you implement? No. And that is what I'm here for, to help you take a process for today's show, SBA financing, and literally implement it if it sees fit in your business. So let's get started. So I'm not going to say where, but I came across a video where the person was talking about SBA financing. And the person shared that if a business owner is looking for SBA financing, they should go to SBA.gov to start the journey. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not the first step that a business owner, if they are seeking SBA financing, would go. SBA.gov, when it comes to financing, don't get me wrong, the website serves its purpose. But I'm only talking about financing. I'm not talking about all the other things that SBA.gov can provide for you. I'm not doing no video on getting grants or getting any type of doing governmental work with the SBA. I am only talking about financing. And when it comes to SBA financing, the first step is not going to the SBA.gov site. Now, if you just want general information and just kind of want to read up on, the SBA, by all means, you go at it. But if you are looking for the next step, and that was the problem that I saw, was that, wow, if a person really was looking for SBA financing, and keep in mind, my show is geared for business owners who are actually doing business, generating income, revenue into their business. This is not for the person who desires to get started in a business and looking for SBA financing, because by all means, SBA financing can assist you there. But with me saying this, the SBA.gov is not the site that you would go if you literally are saying, hey, I'm a business owner and I want to leverage SBA financing. Because to be honest with you, most business owners, and especially, like I said, I work with business owners who are not looking to be the know it all when it comes to financing. Business owners who are actually working in their business or on their business, they're not trying to wear all the hats. They're not trying to be the real estate investor, business owner who is doing deals, being their accountant, trying to be their attorney, and being the financing person too. They're not doing that. So with that being said, business owners don't really know the treasure chest that the SBA can provide, because there's literally a treasure chest, and within that treasure chest, you need to know what financing would suit you, because it's a treasure chest. You don't know if you need a micro loan, you don't know if you need a 504, you don't know if you need a working capital loan. You just don't know. So you go on the website and you're just going to get a lot of information. Now, don't get me wrong, is there a data aggregator where it says to you, put in your information? By all means, yeah, put in your information, and that information is probably going to be submitted to some type of intermediary to be able to contact you. But once again, when the intermediary does contact you, they're just going to get general information about what it is you're looking for. They're not going to hold your hand to figure out what's best for you. And if you really don't know how to communicate it, you may be going in the direction of that's not best suited for you. And then you come up with the assumption, oh, SBA financing is very hard. That's usually the misnomer in the marketplace. It is very hard. It's not that it's very hard. It's just that there are characters who really don't have never actually worked in the space. They know the information, and unfortunately, we live in a time and place now where you got Chat GPT, so people can, look stuff up, but they don't know how to implement it. And that's why I said this show is not for information only. I'm not just giving you a lot of information. I literally want to show you how you can implement this information. So, the one thing you have to be certain of, if SBA financing is for you, before you go to sba.gov, you have a better chance of going to your local SBA office and actually speaking to someone. And don't get me wrong, that you could be in Toledo, Ohio, you could be in Denver, Colorado, you could be in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and go to your SBA office and just get general information on financing. And at least you can have a conversation with someone who can lead you in the direction of, hey, I have this type of business, what's the best financing that I should be pursuing? Because once again, the only time in history, at least since I've been working in the space of financing, not someone who's just shooing information and being an affiliate of someone, the only time, and I have the receipts, if you go on my YouTube channel, and for the podcast listeners, you have to literally go on my YouTube, because you won't see it in the podcast. Um, uh, um, uh, should I say the podcast uh library of on the podcasting platforms? You'll only see it on YouTube. And so the only time in history that the SBA, where you could directly go on the SBA website and literally apply for financing, was during COVID. And if you go to those videos, I actually did tutorial step-by-step videos on how a business owner would literally submit their information to be able to get COVID funds from the SBA. It's the only time in history. But outside of that, we're now 5 years post pandemic. So we're not talking SBA COVID. That's not what I'm here to talk about. But like I said, SBA has a treasure chest of different financing options that a business owner could potentially get access to. But this is the part where many business owners, as well as those who don't really have the knowledge, but they will come to my video to be able to get clarity. Um, every lender, because let me share with you, the way the money is dispersed, yes, it's coming from the government. I'm not going to go all into the Federal Reserve. It doesn't exist, all this other stuff. But the money comes down from the government, is getting to the SBA, and the SBA distributes it to different lending institutions. Within those lending institutions, every lending institution has their place on what area they specialize in. Some may do working capital, some may do at 504, some may do 7A. So when a business credit expert just says, go right on Google and Google SBA and find an SBA lender and then apply, you don't know what. One, you don't know what you need. You don't know if you're a candidate for working capital, 504, 7A, Express. You don't even know. So then someone tells you to just go on Google and Google SBA and find an SBA lender. I literally said last week, if you are looking for SBA financing and you go www.sba.gov, you literally have gotten denied, because that's not the way that you would get the financing. Because once again, you don't know what that lender specializes in. So you may want a 504 loan, but you're talking to a lender who specializes in working capital. And then when you go through the whole process, you may get denied. And that's why I say this all the time on this channel. The wrong financing can hurt you. It can hurt you. But outside of that, you have different lenders who specialize in different things. And then you have different lenders that specialize in certain industries. So there are SBA lenders that literally just lend to franchisee people who are looking to purchase a franchise. There are SBA lenders that only lend, they provide SBA financing, but they only lend to businesses who are looking to buy an existing business. The list goes on and on. I say this all the time in my channel. I do this in real life. There is not a one size fits all financing piece when you start going into the commercial aspect of lending. The same way I say, you're listening to someone who does FHA, real estate financing all day, every day, have built a brand about it, and they're trying to give you advice on commercial lending. If that's not what they do, there's no way that you're going to cookie cutter commercial lending, because commercial lending is not cookie cutter. You can't generally go to no website and get general information about commercial lending, about SBA. Like I said, SBA.gov, if you just want some general information, but when you're ready to implement it into your real life business, now that's going to take some drilling down. That's going to take another process, because the biggest misnomer is that a lot of people don't even know how SBA lenders actually lend. So the chances of you actually talking to a lender, most banks build relationships with brokers or loan advisors to be able to get business because they're looking for the loan advisor or the broker to be the buffer. You're not going to go directly to the bank asking questions about should I get a 504 or express loan, or should I get a micro loan, or should I get a 7A loan. You're just not going to do that. So be very careful of just general advice, or just go on the SBA.gov website, or just Google SBA lenders. Yeah, you can Google SBA lenders and you're going to get a gazillion of them, but you still don't know what they specialize in. Even if they put it on the website, you don't know which loan product is best suited for you. So, those are things to consider. That's why I said you have a better chance. And I have no I have no check attached to saying go to your local SBA office, because at least you get to talk to someone who literally for a living they get a paycheck to just talk to business owners who are looking for resources from the SBA. I'm not here to say it'll help you, but it'll give you some guidance instead of you just generally going on the internet just looking for information. That is why I've said before, people are just spinning their wheels. They're just spinning their wheels, they're spinning, spinning, spinning. So they get what they think of, oh, I'm getting all this information, but they can't implement it. And so one thing that I know is that even seasoned business owners can sometimes fall in this trap. But the good thing about it is they're not going to stay there too long. They're going to pivot out real quick. Like, whoop, I tried to do this, but this didn't work. Let me go get someone who can help me. And that is why somebody like myself, yeah, I'm going to give myself a plug. Yes, someone like myself, that is what I do. I assist business owners of figuring out what's the best financing solution to suit your business needs. It has to be a symbiotic relationship between what your business is doing and the best financing that would suit your business. What I don't do things in silos. Oh, we're going to see if we can get you some funding, and then we're going to see if we can get you your business started, or we're going to see if we can get you to invest in real estate, because unfortunately SBA does not provide financing to real estate investors. Newsflash. But how is it that real estate investors are getting financing? Before you go into, oh, it's because the SIC codes and the NAICS codes, and long as you pick a different code, all this running the play, then you can get the financing. No, you can go to jail. That's what you can do. It is a federal crime. Try to get some SBA financing, trying to run a play about you a real estate investor, but you gonna pick a SIC code of consulting to be able to get the financing. There is a jail cell waiting for you. No, that's not what you do. There's actually a process. The real estate investors that are seeking SBA financing, a way that it can be done, and it can be done legal. So for those who want the receipts, and I'll make sure that I put them in the show notes. I've been saying the same thing for 5 years. The process can be very easy, but it's not simple because sometimes it takes work. And unfortunately, many business owners may not want to do the work. So they may gravitate to ways that are easier. But I will say this, the SBA, dealing with the federal government, especially in these economic times, is not the time to you want to try to run internet plays. It's not the time. But if you're a business owner who's literally, like I said, one thing I know about experienced business owners, they may try to do it themselves, but they could pivot out real quick. Like, whoop, try to do this on my own, but it didn't work. let me go ahead and get help. And that's why someone like myself can help you. So what you're going to see right here on this video is you're going to see a ticker, the scrolling ticker. So if you want to have a conversation and you want to see how financing, whether it's SBA or any other forms of capital, can help you to be able to expand your portfolio in a symbiotic format. What do I mean by symbiotic? Meaning that both things are flowing together, meaning your business and the financing. Not that we're doing things in solos. Let's see if we get you some credit cards and then we're going to help you build a business. Like I said, this is not the place for that. There are many people on the internet, maybe that do podcasting. That's what they do. They're going to help you get some credit cards, and then they're going to help you invest in real estate or build a business. That's not what's done here on the Never Lose a Deal podcast. Here on the Never Lose a Deal podcast, and like I said, investors, real estate investors, business owners come to me when they literally do have something going on, meaning they have revenue, they have some income coming in, but now they want to be able to expand what they're doing, and they know that they are not the experts in financing as well as in funding, and are looking for someone who can assist them with being able to help them move forward in that area. And that is where I come in. So, once again, that is all that I have for SBA financing. Like I said, and I can't say it enough, the wrong financing or funding advice can literally hurt you. And in this economy, this is not the time to play Russian roulette. If you're literally looking to do what it is that you say, hey, I want to be able to have a business, to pass on to my kids, to be able to assist me with retirement, to help me get out of my job, whatever the case may be, you want to be able to do it right. You want to make sure the right financing is going to work for you. Like I said, this is not information. I do this in real life. And if you're seeking some assistance, like I said, you can go to www.leverage portfolio capital, put in your information. Let's have a conversation. Let's legally, if you're real estate investors, legally look at the ways that you can be able to leverage SBA financing if it suits what it is that you're doing with your business. Let's have a conversation. So, once again, this is Lorillia. I'm signing off. As always, to learn more about me, you can go right here on YouTube if you're watching it on YouTube or on the podcasting platforms. Information will be in the show notes, and leave me your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Okay, until the next episode. Bye bye.